I always believed that family comes first. When my little sister Emma and her fiancé Jared fell on hard times, I didn't hesitate to step in. At the time, I had just started my job as a high school teacher. Not a high-paying profession, but enough to get by. I was single, no kids, no major responsibilities. I figured I could spare a few $100s a month to help them get back on their feet. It started 3 years ago. Emma and Jared were drowning in bills, barely scraping. Together rent. They never outright asked for help, probably out of pride, but I saw their struggle. So, I made them an offer. I'll cover your rent for a while until things get better. At first it felt good. I was doing the right thing, supporting my family. Every month I sent $800 for their rent, assuming it would only be temporary, but months turned into years. And while I cut back on my own expenses, no vacations, no shopping, no nights out, they continued living as if nothing had changed. They never once said, "Hey, we're doing okay now. You don't have to send money anymore." I never complained. I never asked for anything in return. Because to me, family meant sacrifice. But then one day I learned the truth, and it broke me. I remember the exact moment everything changed. It was a regular afternoon when Emma called. I assumed she was finally ready to tell me they were back on their feet. Maybe she would say, "Brian, you don't have to send money anymore. We're doing okay now." But instead she asked for more. "Hey, Brian, can you do me a favor?" Of course. What's up? "Jared and I are planning the wedding, but we're a little short on money. Do you think you could help us out?" I froze. For 3 years, I had sent them money. I had skipped vacations, cut back on my own expenses, lived frugally just so they could have a roof over their heads. And now, instead of showing gratitude, instead of saying, "Thanks for everything," they were asking for more. I took a deep breath. "Stay calm, Brian. Emma, I've been paying your rent for 3 years. I really can't do more than that." A long silence. Then, without another word, she hung up. Something felt off. 2 months later, we had a family gathering for Dad's birthday. I hadn't seen Emma or Jared since that phone call, and I wasn't sure what to expect. But when they arrived, they were all smiles, laughing, joking, drinking expensive wine like they didn't have a care in the world. They certainly didn't look like two people struggling financially. After dinner, my grandmother pulled me aside. Her expression was serious, her voice low. "Brian, do you know what Emma and Jared have been saying about you?" I frowned. "What?" "They call you pathetic. They say you're just a lonely guy wasting his money on them because you have nothing else going on in your life." It felt like a punch to the gut. I had given up so much for them. I had sacrificed my own happiness, my own financial security, thinking I was doing the right thing. But in their eyes, I wasn't their loving, supportive brother. I was a fool. I stood there, numb. I wanted to storm over to them, demand answers, confront them in front of everyone, but I didn't. I just nodded at my grandmother and said, "All right, let's see how they do without my money." That night I made a decision. The payments would stop. Forever. A week after that family gathering, my phone rang. It was Emma. "Hey, Brian? Can you send this month's rent a little early?" she asked, her tone casual, like nothing had happened. I exhaled slowly. "Here we go. Actually, Emma, I can't send money anymore." A pause. Then she laughed nervously. "Oh, you mean just this month, right?" "No, I mean from now on. I've helped for 3 years, but I need to focus on myself." Her voice changed in an instant. The sweetness disappeared, replaced with irritation. "Brian, we were counting on that money," I scoffed. "And I was counting on respect from my own sister." Click. She hung up. And then, the guilt-tripping began. First my mom called. "Brian, Emma said you're acting cold toward her. She's your sister. You can't just abandon her like this." I sighed. "Mom, did she also tell you she's been mocking me behind my back? That she thinks I'm a loser for helping her?" Silence. Then a quiet, I didn't know that. Word spread fast. Soon, the whole family found out about my financial support over the last 3 years. Most of them were shocked. Some were furious at Emma, because instead of apologizing or taking responsibility, she started asking them for money. But this time, nobody was willing to be her safety net, and that's when everything fell apart. Jared lost his job after getting caught embezzling money. They tried to apply for a loan, but the bank rejected them. With no income and no backup plan, they couldn't afford rent anymore. Emma had no choice. She packed her bags and moved back in with Mom. A few weeks later, Emma showed up at my doorstep. She looked different. Gone was the confident, entitled attitude. Her eyes were puffy, her hair unkempt. She looked defeated. "Brian, I messed up," she whispered. "Can we talk?" I crossed my arms. "What do you need, Emma?" She swallowed hard. "I just need some help. Just to get back on my feet. Just this once." Just this once? I had heard that before, 3 years ago. I sighed. "Emma, I gave you 3 years of my life, 3 years of my money, my time, my energy, and all I got in return was disrespect. You didn't just take my help, you took me for granted." Her lip trembled. "I was stupid. I should have appreciated you. I see that now. But I'm your sister." I let out a dry laugh. "And I was your brother, but you never treated me like one." She had no response. I took a deep breath. "Emma, I hope you figure things out, but I'm done. I have nothing left to give you." And with that, I stepped back inside and closed the door. For the first time in years, I felt free. Family is important, but respect is more important. Helping someone is one thing. Letting them use you is another. And once you realize someone doesn't appreciate you, the best thing you can do is walk away.